Kenneth Sedlacko, architect for Sedlacko Construction. I started working with Eric back in 1988 on when I was in business for myself. Started designing homes for him back then, and then in 2003 came to work for him full time because I was doing a lot of their work at that point. No, actually I started out in more multifamily, commercial, religious, a lot of different areas over the years. Industrial for a while, but then I always came back to residential it always circled back to residential, so that's when I kind of focused in on that. Actually, I didn't want to be an architect. I wanted to be a surveyor, but when I got out of school, a friend of mine was going into the Army and there was an opening. I couldn't find a surveying job working for a company, so there was an architect downtown that had an opening for a runner, and I took it. It was supposed to be for 3 months, and I stayed there 17 years. One thing about architects most people don't realize is that we're kind of multifunctional. We've got a little bit of the engineer in us. We've got some artist, some graphics, and the thing that I've found over the years is that computer-aided drawings just don't have the personality that architects do when they draw. I used to be, because I started out, they didn't have CAD. That's one reason why I didn't come up in the CAD world. But along the way, we started having more and more of the engineers and that pick it up, and so they gravitated over to it. But I used to be able to know exactly who drew what by looking at the drawings, not even looking at their name on it, because everybody draws different. It's your personality coming out in the drawings. So that's why I think is lost with the CAD drawings nowadays. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, every architect has a different approach to what we do too, and we decide different things. Some architects are more about what the house looks like from the outside. I'm much more about function. I can put a look to any house that I've designed, but first thing I'm going to do is make it functional for the homeowners. That's the big deal for me. Custom home building, client comes in and they will have a wish list or a set of ideas of what they want in the house, but they don't have a plan, a preconceived plan that they've done. That's my job to come up with that. In semi-custom, we generally have plans that we've already done that we'll pull out that we think meets some of their needs, and then we'll modify those plans to fit what they want. Believe it or not, it's not the big, huge homes. It's the smaller homes, because I find it's easy to design something big if you have a lot of square footage. If you can't make something work with square footage, there's something wrong. It's when you have a smaller budget, a smaller home, but you still have those needs, you have more constraints on you. So I find that more challenging when I'm working on a design, that the smaller homes are actually more fun. I think it's because Eric gives us a lot of freedom to do what we need to do in order to get the job done. Because my job around here is not just designing houses. I also help the guys out in the field with questions. We've got client contact, follow-up, looking for materials, new ways to do things. We have a lot of different, and Eric, he's open to new ideas a lot of times.